everybody's doing really well today. So I was recently going through my coloring book collection, kind of organizing everything and putting together a little donation / unhaul pile. And I realized that I still, unfortunately, have quite a large collection of coloring books that I haven't colored in yet, which literally defeats the point of having them. So I wanted to put together this video where I go through all of my untouched coloring books, and it's mainly meant as a method for me to make myself feel guilty. I'm basically peer pressuring myself into picking up some of these books. So these are books that I want to hold on to. So these are not ones that are going to be unhauled. Therefore, I should really be coloring in them. So these are in no particular order. I just have a giant stack in front of me, and I figured we could go through all of them. So the first one and the smallest one in this pile is called Soft Ladies by, let's see, Sonia Stegman. I saw this pop up on Etsy and immediately I was like, that's beautiful. I need it. I got it. So I will link the Etsy down below. Also, I will link all of the books, assuming I can still find the links to them. So this is a super beautiful book. It is also much smaller, so the pages shouldn't take as long, but I've just been, I don't know why, but not coloring in it. It's super cute. I did a full flip of it on my channel because I really like the book, and I haven't seen it on anybody else's channel before. So it's super duper sweet. I really want to color in it. I really like this picture, but I was actually considering trying to copy this cover because she did include a postcard with the purchase and it has this picture on it. So I think it'll be a cool one to replicate in the pinks and blues and like the purple shades. So again, zero excuse to not have colored in this, which is, it stands true for all of the books in this pile. Then I have Forest Kingdom, Tales from the Forest Kingdom by Hannah Carlson. So in I think the fall 2022, somewhere around that time, Amazon had done a sale of buy two, get the third one for free for a bunch of different coloring books. And that included, I want to say all, maybe not all, but at least most of Hannah's books. So I snagged up, I think 3 during that sale, maybe more. I don't know. I got way too many coloring books that sale. And this was one of them, and I just haven't picked it up yet. For some reason, I do associate this book with autumn. Maybe because it has to do with like witches and Halloween. I don't know. There's really no good reason as to why. I really like Hannah's artwork. I have a handful of her other books. So yeah, again, zero good reason as to why I haven't colored in it. And there's other Hannah Carlson books in this pile, but as I said, the pile's really not organized in any fashion. But I really need to pick it up. I really like this page, this double page spread. And I would like to comment on the fact that if you look, you'll see that there's nothing in the middle fold, which is superb. I did a whole video on like coloring book pet peeves, and one of them was the artwork that goes straight into the middle. So Hannah Carlson, love that. Then this was a complete impulse purchase. Back when I was still in Germany, I did get some sort of marker or pencil, something on it. So this is a book by Kristen Vogel. I don't remember the translation. I had looked it up, but it's in German and I don't speak German. But the book is adorable. I do see some of these colored on Instagram, like sometimes it'll pop up, and they're just so cute. I did do a full flip. It's technically single-sided. The backs have like smaller images and some text. If you're okay with sacrificing that, you can easily use alcohol markers in here. But I just think this book is so whimsical. And I like this little like hashing that's done. It makes shading much easier with colored pencils. So again, absolutely no excuse as to why I haven't colored in here. And yeah, I have a full flip. So if this at all looks interesting, do check that out. The imagery in here is beautiful. Really, I mean, I keep on being like, oh, I need to color in this. That's true of all of these books. A slightly newer addition to my collection is by Kinoko Ugusa. It's The Kingdoms of Curious Creatures, a fairy tale adventure book. I think I got it at Michael's. I honestly can't remember. But it's an older book. It's beautiful. It has all these super nice creatures doing very fancy things. Like, look at this rabbit here, just dress shopping. And I do find the artwork a little bit intimidating. There's some seasonal pictures. And I find it intimidating because it's so precious and it's quite detailed, right? And I really want to make sure I do this book justice. And then also, because it features real animals, I feel like I have to color it realistically, and then if it's not super realistic, that I'm somehow failing, which I know is not true, right? Like, these are self-proclaimed statements and self-proclaimed limitations, but yeah, I just basically need to get over myself. And also, just because there's like a real creature, like there's a little piggy here, doesn't mean that I have to color it regular pig colors, right? But it is what it is. There's some information about her here, and then some completed images, which are super cute. I think this book will also be great during autumn with all of like the woodland creatures. So really, really like that. And that was my first Kinoko Ugusa book, and technically my only one. You will see why technically a little bit later on. Also, I had recently picked up my first ever Eerie book. I picked up Romantic Country, and gosh, I think this was a Barnes & Noble purchase. Again, please don't quote me on that. But I've been obviously aware of her work because she's very popular. She makes really cool books, but I've just never owned anything by her. She does do a lot of double page spreads, which I always find very intimidating. But I do want to try out watercolor or watercolor pencils in this book, which hopefully will make the process, you know, more expedited. And I'll be less terrified of double page spreads. So really, really beautiful. And this is the first one in the, I almost said Nice Little Town, not Nice Little Town, in the Romantic Country series. So really like that. And people have done some stunning work in that book. And this is one of the other books that I picked up during the 2 for $3 sale from Amazon. And it's the, didn't I already do Witch's Cottage? What did I do? I did Forest Kingdom. I'm sorry. I was referring to that like that was the Witch's Cottage. But I also picked up Witch's Cottage, which also I associate with autumn, which makes no sense because there's pictures like this here, which are not autumny, but you know, it is what it is. You kind of get something stuck in your head, and then so yeah, really excited. Again, zero reason as to why I haven't colored in it. None of the books in this pile are books I like regret having, or books that I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'll ever color in it. Like, I want to color in all of these, so I just need to get over myself. That is an awesome fall page. And then also some ghosties. I feel like this would be a cool page to like practice techniques on, maybe to like practice watercolor on. This page, basically I got this book for this page, to be blatantly honest. I've seen this page done so many times, and it always looks so beautiful. And I'm also an absolute sucker for a pumpkin. Like, I love coloring pumpkins. Autumn to me is all about pumpkins, so basically bought the whole book for that one page. Then a little bit of an impulse buy when it had come out, but I bought Forest Animals Mandalas by Joshua Dunbar. It is the one and only book that I own by him. So he used to be an artist affiliated with Jade Summer. He was one of the last artists that they worked with prior to the whole like Amazon meltdown with them. And he has gone solo, as you might say. So I was really excited for this because I like forest animals, you know, living quite close to the forest, especially when I visit my family. We're in the woods. So I just really wanted to get this book because I found it endearing, not the snake page. And I also liked that it's a mandala, but it's very symmetrical. There's nothing that peeves me off more than an unsymmetrical mandala. And then it just had these super cute little creatures. So again, zero reason as to why I haven't colored in it. It is single-sided, so you can easily use alcohol markers, which realistically I think I will do. I think I will do a base in alcohol marker and then go in maybe with some colored pencils. It's Amazon printed, so I don't know if watercolor medium or water-based medium, sorry, is the best. And then I think there's some extras in the back, right? Oh yeah, these are the bonus pages. I'll say that does not look like a mandala. So you get some bonus pages from some of his other books. Let's see what else we have. Very nice. Oh, and it'll also say on the side what book it's from. This is cute. It's like a little country something. Easy Spring is that one. This is, I'm assuming, Easy Fall maybe. Easy Fall. Oh my gosh. Look at me guessing correctly. So really happy to have this book. Really, really need to pick it up. Then I have Ollie Colors and their book Fire Goddesses. So I don't know if they are still creating new books. So I checked not too long ago and they were still on Amazon. Like you could purchase this book. But they haven't released anything new, which I hope they're still in business, because I really like this book and I have another one from them that I have colored in, so that's why it's not in this video. But so Fire Goddesses has fire goddesses and also like some like gremlin-y, demon-y looking things, which in full discretion, not my cup of tea, right? I did do a full flip of this book and I kind of talked through every page. I don't like creepy, scary kind of things, but something like this I think is stunning, really beautiful. Like how stunning is this picture? Amazing. Her hair, aspirations right there. So this book was really cool. And when I worked in the other book that I own from them, I really enjoyed it. I had a great experience and I keep on being like, oh, I need to pick this one up. And it just kind of falls by the wayside just because I do have quite a large collection. But it is definitely on my radar because again, I really, really enjoyed working on the other book from them that I have. I want to say that one's like Mermaids or something along those lines. Then also a semi-newer purchase for me is Village Charm by Teresa Goodridge, and it's a Creative Haven book. So I don't have very many auto-buy coloring book authors, not authors. Anyways, I don't have very many auto-buy books. However, Teresa Goodridge, I would say, is as close to an auto-buy for me as you can get. I love her stuff. And so I picked up Village Charm, and I'm yet to color in it. So auto buy, but apparently not an auto color. So it's her typical beautiful countrysides. Anyways, beautiful nature. There's some like storefronts. This page would be awesome during autumn, you know, with like the apples and the pears and everything. Obviously super detailed. Like there's a lot of little eggs and flowers and stuff. So it's, I would say it's not something you could use your alcohol markers for. Maybe partially, but I don't know if you could do the whole page in alcohol marker, but it's single-sided if you choose to venture that way. So really, really beautiful. I like this page. She also features a lot of really cute like cats and dogs in her pages. Look at this page. Like I said, I'm such a sucker for a good pumpkin and a good like root vegetable, squash. Love it. This I have to color in autumn. I do have some of her new coloring books pre-ordered. They're coming out later this month and then later throughout the year. Again, I adore her stuff. So really, really beautiful. I'm considering trying some water-based medium in this book. I don't know how successful I will be because the paper is not super thick, but it is thicker than like the Amazon printed. So really, really beautiful. And then since we're already talking about Teresa Goodrich. I also have Gnome Sweet Gnome, which I want to say is her freshest release or newest release. It came out in like April of this year. I hadn't pre-ordered it because I wasn't sure. I don't know why, I was kind of on the fence about it, but then I saw it in store and I was like, yeah, okay, like say less. They're adorable little gnomes. It's Teresa Goodrich, like you're coming home with me. So it's also single-sided and it has these just really silly, adorable little gnomes, another pumpkin. I think the universe wants me to color a pumpkin page. That's what I'm getting from all of this. I love this page. It's like a little gnome reading about mushrooms and just surrounded by books. That's my like dream existence, is just to be surrounded by books. There's a Valentine's Day page in here. There's this little like laundry page. It's so adorable. I have to say it's a little different compared to like her normal books that she puts out with Creative Haven, but I guess it's maybe a little bit more aligned with some of the other books she's done before. Like I know she has like something princesses, cute princesses. I think she also has like a mermaids one. Those are not with Creative Haven. I forget what company those are with. So maybe this is a little bit more aligned with those books. But anyways, I think it's super adorable. Then I also have this book by Hannah Carlson, which was a pre-order for me. It's her kids book. So I think, and I'm not 1000% sure about this, but I believe she has like a collaboration with some sort of restaurant in Sweden where they sell like kids books or like offer kids books. I could 1000% be misinterpreting that. But I got the party one, and then there's also a new one, which I think is called Space, but it's like outer space. So it's like spaceships and rockets and planets. That one I'm not really interested in, to be honest. But this one I was, hence why I bought it. It is much more simple than her regular books. However, the paper is still quite nice. Like it's a thicker paper. You could still use water-based medium in here, and it's just so cute. I did do a full flip of this book, and I mentioned that I think this is a great like gateway book maybe to her other artwork. So if you're somebody that's been considering trying out Hannah Carlson books, but you think it's maybe a little bit too detailed or something like that, or maybe you don't want to pay, you know, the price tag, because the books are not exactly cheap, maybe check out this one. It is cheaper, it is smaller, and it's less detailed. So it could maybe, you know, let you test out her artwork, and either you'll fall in love and decide you want to try some of her other books, or you might say, you know, no, thank you. But at least you spent less money and you still got a cute book out of it. Moving on to the newest book in my collection. I've had it for maybe a week. It is Rising by Karolina Kubikowska. I am obsessed with her work. I first really experienced her artwork or colored it in Lady Spring, which is a book that is a collection of various artists. I think she has 3 or 4 images in there. I did one and just enjoyed the process so immensely, and then basically followed her on every possible social media, and now buy anything that the woman creates, which included this new book. So again, in my defense, I've had it for like a week, so the fact that I haven't colored in it is not that bad, but I'm really excited. This paper, super thick paper, super nice paper. When I had done the page in Lady Spring, I had based it partially in like water-based markers. I don't think I used alcohol markers. And then I did pencil over top. She does this cool, like, you know, like the little hashing method. It helps immensely with shading if you choose to go that way, or even if you just straight color with like an alcohol or water-based marker. It already adds dimension on its own because of her coloring techniques. Oop, sorry. But yeah, her artwork, I won't say it's a little weird, and I mean that in the best sense possible. It's definitely unique. I haven't seen a single other artist like her So I'm so excited to have this. And to me, it's very much just like a collectible piece. I don't have many books on my shelf that I consider to be collectibles, but this is definitely one of them. And since I ordered it directly from her, it's also signed, which I love. Again, I got this from Etsy. She includes like a little note and information about her social media. And then also, this is the book that I was talking about. This is Lady Spring. That's the book where she collaborated with other artists. So this is another book that I would consider like a collectible piece in my book, Lady Spring, but I have colored, I want to say 2 pages in there, so that's why it's not in this video. But this book, I adore. It's a hardcover. It's superb. If you've been considering getting it, I highly recommend it, even though I have not colored in it yet. And then moving on to the last kind of sprint here, and it's my Uncolored collection of Coloring Heaven magazines. So I was subscribed to their like monthly releases for 6, 7, 8 months. I frankly don't know how long. I have since then canceled my subscription just because I was not coloring in them, as you will see, because most of them are in this collection right now. And I was either not coloring in them or there were books that I had zero interest in. That's something that I talked about in my mid-year freakout tag. So that's why I stopped my subscription. So not all of the books that I received through subscription are in this video. Some are in my declutter on haul pile, and those are not featured here. But without long-winded entrance into this conversation. So one of the magazines that I received is Fantasy Kingdom Special. It has 40 images by Chris Ortega. So I'm on the fence about this one of whether I should keep it or pass it on. And also when I say pass it on, I donate them. Like I don't throw them out or anything like that. But I'm considering passing it on. But there's also images like this that I think are absolutely stunning. But I find Chris's artwork to be super detailed, and not detailed in the sense of like Hannah Carlton, but just like has very, very tiny areas. Like how do I realistically color like the tiny little borders here? So I don't know if his artwork is usually on a larger scale or kind of how that works, but there's just some very tiny details. So again, I'm on the fence about keeping this one or passing it on. We will see, but like this is beautiful. It's just hard because self-created problems. I own so many coloring books. So to me, it's like, oh, this is beautiful. It's great. But okay, but like, will I prioritize it over all the other books in my collection? You know, maybe, maybe not. Another book I'm on the fence about keeping it or passing it on is the Manga Fairy Special. And it's 40 designs by Stanera. I don't know how to pronounce it. So I don't love manga. I actually don't, I'll be honest, I don't like manga. So it's not like a style of art that I reach for or I seek out. Like I know a lot of people do, and you know, that's good for you. I think Jade Summer, is it Jade Summer? Yeah, they have a bunch of manga books that are really cute, but I feel like this one I could work with. Not all the images, but at least some of them. Like I think this one is really beautiful. But again, it's like, do I keep it and prioritize coloring it over all the other books? Or do I just donate it and have somebody that will love it even more color in it? So like, oh, I think I like that one. So we shall see. But yeah, the two that I'm on the fence about keeping are the Fantasy Kingdom Special and then the Manga Fairy Special. Moving on to Little Cutie Special, and there are 40 designs by Daria. I can't pronounce her name. Daria. I'm so sorry, but I'm keeping this book. And this one I'm not on the fence about. I think it's absolutely adorable. So I know she does a lot of like PDFs and bundles on Etsy. I've been eyeing it for a very long time, but I was really happy to receive this in the mail. So there are some grayscale images in here. There's just some line art. Oh, there's a little German one. Oh, that's so cute. So really adorable. I've seen people do such spectacular work on her PDFs that I cannot wait to color in here. And this is one that I know I will be reaching for. I just haven't yet. And I have been quite in a coloring, I wouldn't necessarily say slump, but definitely a decrease in speed in the last like 6 months. So hopefully in the next couple of months, it will pick back up. Another edition that I am 1000% keeping is Enchanted Animals Special. It's by Kanoko Ugusa. So when I talked about her book earlier, I mentioned that, you know, it's technically the only book that I have from her, but this is the other one. So it's the 100th issue as well, and very, very typical style for her, just adorable. I have no idea if they're duplicates with her books, zero clue, but I don't care. It's so beautiful, it's so adorable. I'm keeping it. I want to color all of it. This page, I want 1,000 copies of because I would do this page multiple times. It's just so sweet, and so is this one. So that's why it was kind of like hard for me. Well, I debated whether or not to cancel my Coloring Heaven subscription because I was getting books like this one, for example, that I think is absolutely beautiful. But then I was also getting so many that I was so unsure about that to me it was like, okay, I will just cancel the subscription. But then if I ever see a book that I really want, I will just either order it directly from them or, you know, seek out it at Barnes & Noble, which they sometimes have, but not always. And then the last book is Fantasy Creatures Special. And there is a collection of artists in here, including Selena Fennick. So I'm basically keeping this book, potentially. I'm also on a little bit on the fence about this. But mainly I'm keeping it, if I'm keeping it, for the Selena Fennick art. I just think it's cute. I don't own anything else by her. So I thought it was like a good chance to experience some of her artwork. Like, this is adorable. I just don't really enjoy like mythical creatures very much. Yeah, I don't know. Again, another one that I'm on the fence about. But there's something like this that I think is so sweet. We'll see. But then there's also some that I don't love, like images like this. I would literally never color. Or like this. I don't know. I'm very tempted to just say forget it and pass it on. If that happens, it will be this one and then the other two that I mentioned. But yeah. Oh, this is cool. See, I'm always like, oh, I should pass it on. And then I flip through it. I'm like, oh, but it's actually so beautiful. Excuse the internal turmoil that I'm in. But yeah, those are the 5 Uncolored Coloring Heaven magazines. Realistically, I'll probably end up passing some of them on. But yeah, that is my whole collection of uncolored coloring books. I know it's too many. I am aware. I'm not proud of it. I love collecting coloring books. I love supporting various artists and things like that. And it just frankly makes me happy. So I will hopefully be able to color in all of these books as soon as possible, especially now with making this video. Again, I'm peer pressuring myself. Please also feel free to peer pressure me down in the comments. If you end up doing a similar video, please let me know. I would love to see your collection. I just love seeing everybody's collections and kind of their thought process behind why they have a certain book or why they might have purchased it and have not colored. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.